Hello, everyone. Today I have an update for you which is not so good. I ended up getting demoted into the Gold 1 division. Yesterday, at the end of my video, I was sitting more towards the bottom of Master 2, and off camera, out of boredom, I decided to play a few more games, which wasn't too smart. I ended up losing a few more games than I probably should have. My rating plummeted, and I was the first person kicked out of Master 2. So I've got another week here that I need to go through in Gold 1. I'll say that Master 2 was definitely a challenge for me. I don't think I played too well in all of my games. And I think another week in Gold 1 is probably best for me in order for me to get better and to compete. I have a lot of studying to do, I got a lot of practicing to do. And I know for sure that once next week rolls around, I'll be back in Master 2. I'll be much better prepared to compete and maybe to stay in that division or maybe even to advance into Master 1. For now, though, I'm stuck in Gold 1 for another week. I'm going to get into some duels right now, so let's get into it. Okay, we got a good-looking player here on a 4-game win streak. It appears to be in the north. See these yellow lines. I can't tell if this is South America. I feel like this style might be more Asian. Perhaps it could be Indonesia. Other player goes in Cambodia, and it was Thailand. Okay, so I thought the sun was more in the north. It's doing a big chunk of damage to me to start the game. Gian. I feel like a sign like this would put me kind of in the Aegean Sea, which I think is over in this way by Greece. Is it down here? I can't even remember. Leads me to believe, is this perhaps Bulgaria? Adriatic. I'm gonna go down here in Bulgaria. I'm not sure if this is a good enough guess. The other player goes at North Macedonia, and it was... looks like maybe Greece kind of coming up here. Okay, so not too bad of a guess. Sun is in the north, and I see this black and yellow, black and white chevron. Not entirely certain on this one. I'm going to have to go... Let me check that sun. It is in the north. I'm going to have to go like Australia on this one. I don't think it's down this way. The other player goes New Zealand, and it was much better guess, south part of New Zealand. So that's going to do another ton of damage to me. See this yellow pole, and the sun is in the north. Okay, so I think this one I should be able to comfortably go Australia here in Western Australia. I believe we do find those signs there. We go ahead and place the pin in Western Australia. The other player goes in Eastern Australia, and it was closer to Perth, so a very good guess there, doing a ton of damage. Looks like we're back to about even on the game here. Big concrete poles. The sun is not really too helpful. Red on white chevron with these big concrete poles. I'm not ruling out a place like maybe Croatia. I think, can't remember if they used the red on the white. Yeah, I'm not entirely certain. I know that they have like the more like the circular concrete poles though. I'm going to go ahead and place the pin. The other player goes in Serbia. It was Turkey. A little bit of damage, almost knocks me out. And Turkey probably would have been a better guess. What have we got here? Okay, so we are in New Zealand again. Yeah, and I think we're down in one of these national parks with the double yellow road line. Go ahead and place the pin. Other player goes to New Zealand. It was much further north. I think that's going to kick me out of the game. Yep. Okay, it's a good game. It's a pretty good opponent. Losing the first game back here in Gold 1. So on a big losing streak here. I'm going to go ahead and get into another game. Okay, new opponent on a one-game win streak. Sun is in the south. Appears as though we're driving on the right. Asian characters. I'm not sure where this is. I'm not sure if it is Taiwan. Sun is to the southwest. I mean, I'm not saying it's in Taiwan, but maybe one of these islands here. I'm going to go ahead and place the pin. Other player goes, wow, they knew exactly where that was and they 5K'd it. Where was that? Good for them. Yeah, I never saw that one before. Didn't do too much damage even with the 5K, though. Thinking this is US or Canada. I do see a speed limit 35. Okay, that should put us in the US. Can't really get a feel for exactly where. Some deciduous trees. I think it's more eastern, though. I'm going to go ahead and place the pin here in Ohio. Yeah, I really can't tell. Can't tell with these license plates. I'm not sure if it is Ohio exactly. I could push it down here into maybe like the Tennessee area. I feel like might be an okay guess. The other play goes in Indiana. Oh, wow. It was Ohio. Should have just stuck with that. See the chevron here. Sun appears to be in the north. It would lead me to believe this is potentially South Africa. But I don't think it is. I think this might be Turkey. Divided highway. Yeah, it looks like we are driving on the right. I think Turkey's maybe a little bit of a better guess. Maybe this way. I'm going to place the pin. Other player goes in Spain, and it was Turkey, so that's going to do a ton of damage. Okay. Sun is in the north. Double outside yellow, and then the dotted in. It's got to be South Africa or Botswana, I would think. I'm going to place the pin in this area of the world. Other player goes in South Africa as well, and it was Botswana. Okay, so I had the right idea with the Botswana guess. I didn't place the pin there, but it was close enough. Oh, I think this is Tunisia. I think this car is a follow car in Tunisia. Could be wrong. I'm going to place the pin there anyway. Other player also knew it was Tunisia. Slightly closer, doing some damage. It's a very good, very good player for the rating. I wouldn't expect them to know that. Never saw that language before. Quite frankly, I've never really seen a landscape like this before either. Is this maybe like Greenland? It's got to be up here, right? I'm not sure on this car. I'm going to place the pin in Greenland, though. Other player also goes in Greenland. Yeah, they had it almost spot on. See this octagonal pole. Know that I've seen something like that in Mexico before. The sun does look like it's more in the north. Could be wrong on that. It's like straight ahead, straight above. Yeah, I mean it could be south. Rotoplas. Yeah, I gotta go like north of Mexico here. Maybe up this way. I'm gonna place the pin. Other player goes in Bolivia, and it was Mexico. That's gonna knock the other player out of the game. Okay, very good. Finally getting a victory after a losing streak. All right, cool. Moving up in the rankings quite a bit. I am going to get into another game in just a second here. All right, and I am back. I'm going to do a third game here. Let's see if I can get a win streak going. Hello, sir. Still have no idea how to turn that feature back on to wave. Very big intersection, very flat. I would think this is Russia right away. Tough to tell where. I'm just going to place the pin kind of somewhere up here. Other player does exactly the same thing, and it was actually closer to Ukraine. Actually, that might have been Ukraine. Okay, but I was slightly closer. I'm doing a little bit of damage. Sun is in the south. Oh, can't read this. Thought maybe Greece. I feel like I've seen these signs before. This doesn't look Greek to me, but I think that's probably my best guess. I'm just going to place it up this way. The other player goes in Croatia. Yeah, okay, so they were much more prepared for that round, doing a ton of damage. Well, can't tell if this is Nigeria. I feel like this is maybe more like Kenya. Place the pin here. Other player goes in Kenya as well, and it was Kenya. I don't think I checked that sun. Maybe I could have had a better guess there. Okay. It's these very tall birch trees. Autumn coverage. Well, I feel like maybe up this way, Finland, maybe even this part of Russia. Could be wrong on that. Just basing it on the trees. I don't really have much else to go on here. I'm going to place the pin up here. Other player goes in Finland, and it was in Finland. Doing some damage to me. Let's see that pole. Let's see. Kind of in the middle of nowhere. Doesn't go all the way to the bottom. I mean, that could be, might be Poland. Could be Spain. I'm gonna go Poland here. I'm not really comfortable with the guess. The other player also goes in Poland and was much better. This is another very formidable opponent. They seem to know their stuff. Carrera, okay. Okay, that puts us in probably South America. What does the car look like? No sense of the car. Sun appears to be maybe in the south. I got these maybe octagonal style poles. Could be maybe Mexico. Could be. I don't think it's Guatemala. Could be Ecuador, maybe. Push it down here into Ecuador. Other player goes in Mexico, and it was Colombia that time. Doing a bunch of damage there with the multiplier. Okay. Driving on the left. Not sure where this is. I don't think it's here. Other player also goes in South Africa, and it was Kenya. So we have a mix of Cyrillics and not Cyrillics. It puts me in a place like maybe Bulgaria. I think it could also be a place like Serbia. I do see these thicker circular concrete poles. No tell from the car. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go Bulgaria on this one, just with the combination of the Cyrillics and the Latin script, and then these houses. Other player also goes in Bulgaria. Wow, very good guess. Appears as though we have another Russia round. What is that? Do we see a mountain like that over in East Russia, perhaps? I don't know. It was. Okay, it was way East Russia. Okay, very good. It was enough to knock the other player out of the game. And it puts me into a win streak. Eyeing this promotion again to Master 2. That's ultimately where I want to be. For now, though, I think I'm going to shut it down. I'm gonna end it here. Not feeling too shabby. I mean, I feel like I could have played better, but I am on a 2-game win streak. But I will be back again tomorrow with more duels.